The Gems will release their new album, The Year of the Snake, on March 13 via Napalm Records. The album is heavy, hard rock, full of energy from the beginning to the end, and is perfect to see live. At least it's what I think, what I imagine. And today with me is the singer Guernica to talk more about the album. So, välkommen! Hur mår du?
Hur mår du? Jag mår bra. Hur mår du?
Jag är bra. Jag lär mig svenska, men jag pratar inte så bra. Förlåt.
Men jättebra. Wow! Det är ett svårt språk. It's a hard language to learn.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Good job. Wow. Very impressive.
And I understand a little bit Finnish, but I'm trying to learn Swedish now because I think Swedish is easier than Finnish.
I think so too, honestly.
Your name is Guernica, and I have this curiosity because I saw the social media of the band, and I think I saw you speaking Spanish.
Yeah, I speak a little bit. My parents are from Uruguay.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, our countries are close.
Yeah.
But I'm born and raised in Sweden, and so when I was a kid, my Spanish was perfect. I sounded like super Uruguayan, but today I can speak, but it's I feel like I'm embarrassed by my vocabulary. It's not as great as it used to be. So I usually when I just did an interview with a guy from Chile, and I spoke a little Spanish with him, but I also very quickly told him that I can't really respond music related questions in Spanish, unfortunately. I don't feel comfortable.
It's too much vocabulary. So let's start talking about music. When I think of heavy rock or hard rock, my main reference, especially nowadays, is Sweden. And I like to know from you why these styles are so strong in your country.
I think that because we maybe it's the weather, sorry, my voice. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know. We just have a very strong history of like songwriters, and why it became Sweden. I don't specifically know, but I guess that it has to do that the government has been very supportive of arts and culture until very recently. They just stopped supporting the way that they have. Which is sad because Sweden does have such a great export of music and songwriters and everything related to culture. Sweden has been really great at. And I think it's because as a kid, you get, like, that's how I started my first band when I was a kid, through this, like, I guess, government organization where they wanted girls to be more involved in bands and stuff like that. So I don't know where we'll be in like 10-20 years, but right now I think it's a lot to do with everyone having the opportunity to try an instrument, even play in a studio and find their way and find their interest. So I think that's the main reason why Sweden has been able to create so many good artists, and like, I guess, across the board in genres. But I think the rock is probably the weather, like the heaviness, like people, you can, like in the rock metal genre, you can really express the frustrations of not, we barely have any sun and stuff.
That's very interesting point of view, because if I think about Brazil, our music, it's very dancing. So you are talking about the weather, so maybe makes sense.
Maybe, but you do have a lot of heavy, like death metal bands, and
yeah,
I don't know if it's like samba and like like really, really heavy shit. So I don't know.
Do you know any death metal bands in Brazil?
Yeah, I guess Nervosa and Sepultura. I said that very Swedish. And no, I guess those are the ones that No, and Crypta too.
Yeah, Crypta.
Aren't the two girls, I mean, I don't know what the situation is there, but I know of them because they're also signed to Napalm, and I think they're really cool, and I have a lot of respect for, their hustle.
Speaking of the album, in the first song, you talk about changes, and the album title is Year of the Snake. And is it all related to Chinese zodiac? Can you explain
Yeah,
that better?
yeah, it is. It's all to do with the Chinese zodiac because Mona and Emily are actually snakes.
Mm,
So we decided in 2024, before the Year of the Snake started, that the next album should be called Year of the Snake due to them being snakes. And Phoenix was released on my birthday, so then we thought it would be a
nice.
fun thing to do that the next album had a personal connection to the girls in the sense of them also being snakes. And then once we decided the snake theme and looked more into what it actually means about changes and all that stuff, um, then yeah, we just started writing songs also on the themes of change and evolution, all that stuff.
Sure.
But I'm no expert, but it's, that's where it comes from.
Yeah, the year of the snake was 2025, right?
Yeah, it was 2025, ended in the 17th of February this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
and now is the horse, something
yeah, it's
about
the
the
fire
horse.
horse right
Fire horse.
now. And supposedly that's going to be really good energy, good vibe. So I feel like we're off to a good start with the band, selling out shows and stuff. But we initially we wanted to release the album during the Year of the Snake, due to the name, obviously. But things happened, and we had to postpone the release. And now it's more. I tell people like it's inspired by the Year of the Snake and what that means, but it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily have to be because a lot of people want to all of a sudden people are experts on astrology and
Uh-huh.
want to be like, but it's the fire horse. Like, did you even know what this was before? Like, shut the fuck up. But yeah, it's inspired by the themes of the Year of the Snake.
This is topic, it's very complicated. I don't like to talk about astrology because for me I can talk about this. It's not very specific things. I don't know. I'm not an
No, you're not
expert.
into it. I get it. I respect that.
Because I have no knowledge enough about this.
Yeah.
So I prefer don't talk about.
Yeah.
So, but the songs on the album have very different atmospheres. And sometimes there is a bit of blues, like in that song Hot Bait.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's more heavy metal or more hard rock. But it's a very cohesive album, I think.
Thank you.
And you are three girls. And
Yeah.
I think when I think about this, I think do you have to have fewer people in the band helps to connect the ideas better?
I think so.
Mm.
At least having a little core that, like, we have the company together, and even, yeah, I think it makes life easier when you're fewer, making decisions and where you're heading as a band, and also creatively, not too many chefs in the kitchen, so to say.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think for us it's been working, and even if there will eventually be changes, or I don't know, I think it's good to have a little core and then invite people. Like we did write some songs with our producer.
And when I watch the video clips, your seems very close. So are you real friends in the real life, or is the story of the band?
We are real friends. We are real friends, and we support each other. I mean, it wouldn't be honest for me to say, but since we started the band has more or less taken over. So it's really hard to separate friendship and business. That's just how it's become. But in the core, we're friends, and we wanted to do this because we do care about each other, and we also have so much fun together. Like, we laugh a lot together and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So that's like very valuable. Um, but yeah, it's a tricky to manage both, but I think that we've been able to do it so far.
So we have a song called Gravity with Thomas Johansson
Hmm.
and from Majestic, I think. I don't know how
Yeah.
to pronounce the name of the
No,
band.
you said it right. Majestica is the band. Yeah.
Majestica, yes.
Mm.
And how did this collaboration come about? How do you imagine, because we are creating our songs, we're composing our songs, so let's pick someone to sing with us. How does this happen?
When we started writing for the album, we already knew that we wanted to have a duet on the second album because it's fun to collaborate with other musicians. But then I did a charity song with him last year, and while doing that, I asked him like, "Would you ever be interested in doing a song with us if we have a song that fits?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course." And then when we decided that we thought Gravity should be a duet, he was the one that we wanted for the song because he has this epic range. He sings amazingly, and he happens to be a very nice person too. So it's all a win-win. So when I asked him, he was like, "Yeah, of course," and he's been super simple to work with, and yeah, it's just we're very grateful that he said yes.
No more playing games, we are in it for the win. We've got dreams.
Cool. In the beginning of our conversation, I told you that I imagine this album as very good to see live. And what do you think about this when you are composing? Do you imagine, because the songs are very energetic, we almost don't have ballads, we just have one, that's Forgive and Forget, I think, just one. And it's very energetic album, I really like it, and I really imagine watching this live. So what is for you when you are composing? Do you imagine this idea of to play live, or what is in your mind?
Everything we wrote for this album was for live. So it makes me so happy that that's your interpretation, because that's exactly what we wanted. When we went into the studio, we were like, we need more fast songs. We need more mid-tempo songs that are more energetic, because that's what we're missing live. And then once we started singing, writing the songs, and we were working on the different parts of the songs, we're always like envisioning the audience singing along with us or doing things with us. So yeah, it's been such a huge part, because at the end of the day, we want to be a great live band. And then you need to have a nice dynamic show. So I'm really happy you said that. Thank you.
Cool. And how do you manage this part? Because you have Forgive and Forget, that is a ballad, and most of the songs are very energetic. And how do you manage this live? You are whoa, 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 and then we stop, and now we're going to sing a ballad.
Yeah, that's you take it down. That's you need to plan it. Like the way that we see it is, I wouldn't say it's like a theater show or anything like that, but you take people on a journey, and then you take them, because we have mid-tempo songs too, and we're mixing with songs from Phoenix, which is a different storyline. So as of right now, we wanted to like take it down and then bring it up again and like take people on this ride. But we'll see if we manage to do it in a good way. That's also like figuring out the right set list. So we're gonna try one thing now, and then we'll see in the summer if it works or not. Because I mean, it could fail too, but we're gonna try and do like a medley of mid-tempo songs and stuff like that.
And you have to breathe too.
What?
And you have to breathe too.
Oh yeah, exactly. I need to breathe. So we have a guitar, like Mona's doing a long guitar solo, so we can get off stage and be like, maybe I'll do a change of clothing. I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about Brazil. So
Let's talk about Brazil.
I always ask this question to the international artists, and I'm collecting the answers. The first question is, what do you know about Brazil?
First thing I think about is samba and bossa nova, because that's the music that my parents listened to when I was growing up. And my dad knows how to play samba and stuff. So, and I also know how to dance samba. I don't have the condition, I can do like half a minute because I'm so lazy and out of shape, but I know the steps. But so yeah, the first thing I think about is that, honestly, and Carnaval and Rio, and then the Jesus, Cristo, and what else? Football or soccer, as it is in English, whatever. And
that's it. So
no, I mean I feel like it's so much like the colors of the flag, like green and yellow, and just sun and caipirinha and like, so many things. Brazilian barbecue, I love meat.
So I have to say you know much about Brazil, because when I ask sometimes I don't have so many things in the answer like you did.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting. I think it's because it's been even though I'm not Brazilian and obviously my parents aren't either, it's been a big part of my life musically, at least. Like we've always had, you know, Sergio Mendes or whatever, like Banda Eva, or I don't know, it's like
Really?
different
Banda
types of
Eva. It's very
artists.
specific.
Yeah, but like people like see it's just only one of the artists that come up in my mind right now that we have listened to at home. And yeah, and I don't know, there's something, I feel it in my heart when I hear like samba or bossa nova. Like nice, it's nice.
Very nice. It was the best answer I've ever had.
Oh, thank you. Obrigado, that's thank you, no?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Obrigada.
Yep. Obrigado.
That's nice. Sometimes the artists always mention Iron Maiden live in Rock in Rio.
Oh, Rock in Rio, yeah, of course. But no, that's a bucket list thing. I would love to play Rock in Rio one day.
Sometimes bands don't like to label it. I don't know if you do that. It's we are a hard rock band, we are a heavy rock band. I don't know if you can label this. So I want to understand your view, because when I told you the band have two different styles in there. So if you or label the band, can you think of something about this?
Oh yeah, we have labeled ourselves heavy glam rock.
Glam rock,
No, heavy glam rock. So
heavy
it's
glam
like
rock.
because we do have a more like, I mean, there's an obvious more heavy metal vibe to us than purely glam rock or anything like that. But the glam rock part is more how we present ourselves, how we have our uniforms. Like we're very inspired by Kiss and having that like concept. And also with the diamond shape, it's more glamorous. We can play around with glitter and all these like extra things that not necessarily are stereotypical for rock, but we're making them rock. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean. Or I hope you know what I mean. So we call it heavy glam rock.
And how do you imagine this kind of sound nowadays? Because when I think in glam rock, we imagine 80s and something in the past, but how you reshape, I don't know if this word exists, you reshape the style for nowadays.
I think we do it by fusing it together. Like we mix so much from the past, but we have produced it in a modern way. Like my vocals are very much in the front and everything is very like in the, you know, compared to I guess a normal rock recording, or if it was from the 80s, it wouldn't really sound as fat and true, you know, in your face like our production does now. But yeah, I feel that we've been really good at mixing all the different things because we all have different also inspirations and we have different backgrounds. So there's always like a little like unexpected mixes in there, but you can also hear it and be like, oh, that really sounds familiar. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think we managed to mix in a cool way.
All I'm saying, let me let go.
I'd like to ask you about your clothes because you were talking about glam, and I realized that you wear different clothes on the stage, and I'd like to ask you about this. You imagine the clothes, you design the clothes. How does it happen for you?
Yeah, when we started the band, we knew that we wanted to have like a uniform type thing, and in the beginning we ended up buying like these matching Mugler outfits from H&M just to be like the same, you know what I mean? And then we worked with a Swedish designer that we had been doing our stage clothes with back when we were still Thundermother. And we wanted to keep the concept of the, you know, the lines like Mugler has in their, like the designer. So I wouldn't say we copied Mugler, but we definitely inspired by Mugler on the first one. Because for the first record, we did a red one, like red and blue one that fits that album. And then for now, the Year of the Snake, I have a gold jumpsuit with, you know, shorts and the girls are more silver and red. I think Mona is now going to be more silver and black as well. So like more the look we have in Gravity, but we just like having a cohesive look. And yeah, it's just easier and it's really nice not to have to think too much about what you wear on stage. or you just put on your outfit. But yeah, we've worked with a designer here in Sweden, and she's done our costume so far. And now the next thing we do, we're actually working on it on ourselves. Like I'm actually sitting now putting rhinestones on a thing for Mona. So every time I'm like, I'll have a little break and be like, okay, this is like mindfulness. Like I'm actually putting one stone at a time. So I hope it looks cool on stage.
So every era of the band has a different outfit.
Yeah, that's what I envision at least. So now the year of the snake is like the gold, and also we silver with yeah, with the gravity. But yeah, I like that idea of having that.
You talked about the weather. I interviewed a band that wears that heavy outfits, kind of vampires and something like
Oh, yeah.
that. And I asked them, how is it for you? Because when you play in a hot place like Brazil and you have different outfits for this, it's yeah, we kind of have a tropical vampire style.
I think if we played Brazil, I would have to like let go of the pantyhose, because I mean, I don't know what I would do, or I'll just put up with the heat. We had a few shows, I know the summer 24 here in Sweden. It was like 30 degrees and the sun was on the stage, and I felt like, and at the time I was wearing these like platform boots that were plastic. So it felt like my feet were burning up because we also had fire on stage. So it was just like, holy shit. But then you drink a lot of water and you deal with it. But I was this close on taking off my shoes because I was like, I'm fucking dying. My feet are burning up.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
That's
see what
difficult.
yeah.
So, Guernica, thank you so much to talk to me. Congratulations on the release. I wish you success. And let me try to tell something Swedish again.
Yes, please do.
Och, jag hoppas att vi kan prata svenska nästa gång.
Ja, såklart, såklart. Ja, vi får öva mer nästa gång.
Thank you so
job,
much
wow.
again. Congratulations. I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. I hope so too. Well, have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye.